Welcome back to Egan Brooks' Psychology channel, and today I'm going to give you a simplified model of how the fear of failure affects our action. I think a lot of us know we're scared. We're scared to take action, we're scared of the consequences, we're scared of people's judgment. But I want to simplify at a psychological level what is happening inside of us and how we can look for opportunities to change that. Fear of failure can often be redefined as fear of judgment. The specific event, whether it's getting fired from the particular job, a social media post not going well, not making the sporting team, all of these things, we think it's because of the event, but it's actually because of the perception. It's people's judgment onto us. We care what people are going to say about us, how they're going to value us, because often we struggle to give that validation to ourselves, and we're in this conditioned cycle of being reliant on the people outside of us. And a lot of us don't realize that, but it's okay. We're here to bring some of these things to awareness. So fear of judgment. So when we go through events, normally psychologically we call this a stimulus, something outside of us that gets interpreted by our senses. So let's say an event, an opportunity, something that happens external to us, such as football training, a new job opportunity, going out for dinner with friends, going out clubbing, etc. There's an event. And often we're going to take action, of course. We're going to do something, a behavior, and we want to optimize this action. We want to make the best possible action that aligns to where we want to go. Often we self-sabotage, and what that means is we take action that contradicts where we actually want to go. But why? Why would we do such a thing? It doesn't make any sense. So here I'm going to give you the simple psychological explanation. So every time we experience something and it goes through our senses, it goes through this filter called the RAS. It's called the Reticular Activating System. And essentially, this is called a filter. It's our brain's filter for interpreting and making meaning of what's on the outside. And the filter that it goes through and the programming that it has often comes from our beliefs, our belief system, which comes through our childhood, our culture. So everything we witness through our senses, we observe, and the meanings that we create for them go through this belief system. So our automatic thoughts and feelings about this certain event come through the reticular activating system. Let's say we want to ask a girl out. A simple example, boy wants to ask girl out. So there's an event, he sees an attractive woman and he wants to go over and introduce himself. But that's his ideal action, that's his goal. He wants to ask the girl out, potentially ask for a date, and further that connection. So in the middle here is his brain's interpretation. He's starting to have feelings, he's starting to have sensations, whether it's anxiety, thoughts and feelings are coming into his mind. And this is going through his reticular activating system. And a lot of this is at a subconscious level. So there are programs within him that he can't actually see that are influencing the thoughts and feelings that he is having in relation to this event. So our beliefs heavily influence automatically how we perceive this. Oh, I'm too scared, I'm not good enough. Oh, nah, next time. Or maybe. The tiptoeing, the lack of confidence, it all comes from these limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. I don't have the confidence. I need girls to validate me, so it's going to really scare me. It's going to put a lot of pressure on this situation. All of these happening automatically. There's this thing called dissonance. You might have heard it before, but I want to explain. When we want to take ideal actions such as asking the girl out, sometimes it can create this thing called dissonance, which is conflict. It's a conflict between the deep-seated beliefs that we have and the events and the actions that are happening on the external level. There's a mismatch between who we think we are, what we're capable of, what we deserve because of our beliefs, and what we're experiencing on a surface level. So self-sabotage exists in order to create congruence and similarity between the external outside layer and the inside belief system. So there is conflict, often results in tension, overthinking, anxiety. And the way that our body and our brain is able to resolve this is through a mechanism called self-sabotage. It can sometimes be an automatic process because it's too overwhelming to think about and feel. So we can form we self-sabotage and we don't go over, we don't do the thing, we don't take the risk, we don't make the move, we don't want to put ourselves out there because of fear of judgment. We have to be willing and courageous to test our limiting beliefs and create evidence that that is what we deserve. Most of the way that these limiting beliefs are overcome is through proving to yourself that you deserve it, through the experience firsthand that it is possible. Because when you experience something firsthand, you have deep-seated proof and evidential proof that you have experienced it, it is possible, it is real, it is not as something in your imagination. And that is why one of the keys to overcoming these limiting beliefs is proof. Because then this dissonance becomes slowly reduced because at least we know we've experienced it. And that is why continuing to stack up evidence and proof, overcoming the fear of judgment in relation to this is so important. So, fear of failure is not actually fear of failure. It's actually just our inability to put ourselves out there. We want to be small. We want to stay in these boxes that we've created for ourselves. So when we become aware of that, we realize that it is our responsibility and our choices that can slowly empower us to change these beliefs and create the action that we truly want. So, that is my challenge for you. How can you start to test some of these beliefs out in the real world? How can you start to become more aware of the thoughts and feelings you're having in relation to events that you are experiencing? Why are they there? What beliefs are driving these reactions, these interpretations? And how can you start to take moves, take action that is aligned to where you want to go? How can you challenge this dissonance and say, no, I do not want this, I do not care, I'm willing to put myself out there. So, if you enjoyed this episode, just remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.